Yeah, I can see it's recording now, so I'm smart. The professional hat is coming back on.
Oh my days. Oh my days.
Just make myself look pretty. Hang on. So, oh my days. That's already started. So that's once.
Crap. Heavy.
Yeah,
Crap.
so good start.
What do they say? Action. What's the thing they say?
Ready, set, action.
Oh, yeah. Why am I thinking camera? Action,
lights, camera, action.
A camera, action, go.
What the fuck is that? I thought it was lights, camera, action.
No, that is yeah. Oh god. Oh, bro. Oh. Am I even qualified to be speaking to other humans on?
Apparently speaking, but not anything to do with directing.
I'm not a director, mate. I do what I can. This is something I can do. Anyway, all right, let's go.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to Season 2. We're very excited to share this with you. Before we get started, I'd like to shout out our sponsors, Elevate Marketing Group. If you need a website made, they're the guys that you want to get in contact with. We'll leave a link in bio for them. They made our website, so check them out. Also want to give a shout out to Wellway's Standby Program. It's a national suicide postvention service that provides practical support to anybody who has been affected by suicide. Ben, do you want to say hi to everyone?
Yeah, welcome back. I can tell you that Emeka and I have been planning this for a long time. A lot of things in our personal lives have stopped us getting to this point a bit earlier than we should have. But here we are, a good, 12 months, pretty much since we released the first episode. Something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, 12 months. It's almost as if it was meant to be.
Yeah. Or we're just really bad at doing it, that we just waited a whole year to start again, pretty much.
Okay, well, we can put you in that category.
Yeah, no, definitely. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but I'm not you, so let's not.
I'd hope not.
That's not. Yeah, I hope not either. But no.
Okay. Just before we start, sorry, I have to say this. We are doing a tally on how many times Emeka says, oh my days. Right? And if it's over 10, he has to buy me dinner. Simple as that. How confident are you? How confident are you?
Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
We're counting that. We're counting that.
No, that is not on my day. No, because I was saying that then to explain.
Okay, that's one. No,
that's fine. Whatever.
All right, one down.
Well, let's get into it. What have we got coming in Season 2? What are you excited to share with our audience, Ben?
I think the guests, the lineup that we've got is an amazing variety. I think we've got a lot of different people, ranging from people who work 9 to 5 and graft in those timeframes to then go out and do their own little adventures, to professional athletes who are focusing on being the best in their sport, in their weight category. A little bit of a spoiler there again. We have so many different people, different lives,
different stories.
I think we're about to hear stories that we didn't think were ever going to be shared with us too. I think people love the idea of this show, this podcast even, and they want to tell us their story. So for us to be able to give them a platform to tell their story, it's fantastic. I think I'm just looking forward to meeting people I've never really spoke to and hearing about their lives. Like, for me, that's awesome. We have a few people I've never even heard of, but I know a lot of other people have heard of them. So I'm just like, oh, cool. Like, I get to find out more about this person. I think that's going to be really fascinating.
Yeah, we're definitely in the business of storytelling. One thing that we're excited for this season as well is women are joining the discussion. So we'll also have female guests as well. Was I allowed to say that? I don't know, but
yeah, that's why I kept it quiet. But okay,
got to ruin the surprise. Sorry, everyone. But there's a lot to be excited about. It's bigger and better. So yeah, with that, we'll go into a recap of last season. Ben, do you remember anything from last season?
We had a few people come on.
Anything that stood out to you though was more what I was
anything
framing
that
that question.
Stood out. Blimey. There was a lot. Like, do I have to handpick one, or can I just
or even
go into a bit of a list, because I can't really think off the top of my head just one. I think a massive thing for us was our first episode, how we were just discussing what goals we had, to now the end of the seasons, talking about everything we achieved. I didn't think that was humanly possible. I didn't think two young men could do something this inspirational to other people. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself saying it's inspirational.
I think it was possible that two young men could do it, but I think what you're trying to say is you're surprised that we asked two young men could do it. Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah.
Saying that
no, I think in general
isn't possible. Okay.
I genuinely think, like, you look at everybody doing these sort of podcasts or ideas, and a lot of them have qualifications and they've been around this sector for a long period of time. And we're just two blokes with a vision and wanted to help people.
Yeah, and help people by sharing the stories of
exactly.
You off there. But yeah, help people by sharing the stories of other people and letting people realize that, okay, I'm not the only one going through certain things. I'm not the only one that struggles with certain things. And actually, even other people that I look at as further ahead than me or even behind me all have a journey on their own. Not that we should be in a state where we're comparing ourselves with each other all the time, but it's good to get different perspectives to kind of understand, okay, right, I'm actually in a better position than I think I am. Sometimes I can't find the word for it, but sometimes I over dramatize what I'm going through, or sometimes I'm not even conscious of what I might be going through. Do you know what I mean? There's both sides to it. Sometimes you think you're on a massive high, and then all of a sudden, boom, something comes up and it really rocks you. And you didn't realize that actually there were all these other things as well that you'd been dealing with that you had put off. So I think it's good to share other people's stories and take notes and take lessons from those. And basically that is, for me, what stood out last season is from Kieran's story to Max's story to Lucas's story. Each person had their own unique challenge. And some of the things that happened, bruv, when I was sitting listening to those stories, I was like, wow, would I have been able to deal with that? Ruptured esophagus by Max.
Yeah, I was about to go straight into that.
Bruv, what would I have done in that situation? What would you have done?
Yeah. I just would have had a breakdown, to be fair, and probably left it at that. And that would have been my story. I was so close to being the best in the world, but an injury.
Legit.
Like an excuse. An excuse right
there.
An
easy way out. Because a lot of people take 100%. That way out. But Max, didn't.
Oh, actually, I've got to say something about Max now, and I'm sorry if he decides to listen. But in his last fight, he won by unanimous decision. He broke his foot in the second round and carried on fighting. So, again, overcoming adversity, a cracking obstacle right there of a broken foot. And then got told, you don't need surgery. So sweet. He was happy. Only to be told, yeah, you actually need surgery. So it just delayed his comeback again.
That's messed
So he's now in the 15th recovery of his journey at this point.
But keeps going, keeps pushing.
But keeps going. It just shows the dedication. If you want to be somewhere, you'll do everything you can to get there. So that for me recently has actually been very inspiring.
Yeah, and it's nice also to have those kind of in-moment stories that we can look at, and then now, a year later, see how those people have progressed. And we'll be catching up with some of those people again in season 2 as well, but we'll also be inviting a lot more people on. But also looking back at ourselves, not just Ben and I, but also it's a chance for you to say, okay, who was I in season 1? What did I want to do in season 1? What did I learn from season 1? And how have I changed in that year? It's crazy that it's been a year, but it's been a year, And what do you now want to do in season 2? So if you look at it, is season 1 was 1 year of your life. Season 2 is going to be another year of your life. So what do you want to achieve in season 2, and what are you going to learn in this season? And we're really grateful for how well we were received by our audience. It was amazing, and the amount of people who have requested to be guests as well. Sadly, we won't be able to get everybody on in season 2 because we've just had so many requests, and we've had to say unfortunate no's to some people, and some people we haven't let know yet that they won't be on. So we probably should do that. But we'll get around to that. But I think, me personally, I'm very excited for this new season, for the stories that we're going to share and the message that we're trying to get out there. Trying to spread hope, trying to spread positivity, and trying to just have good vibes, have good chats with good people. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. I think this season, why did everyone tune in for season 1, and what brought you back for season 2? Is there something we're saying that has connected with you? Is there something you guys want to work on? Is there topics you want us to bring up between Emeka and I? Is there topics you would like certain guests to come on? Because I know a few people know certain guests are coming on because I may have accidentally told a few people.
Also me too. It's hard. Yeah. We're excited.
We're really, really good at keeping secrets, apparently. But, well. And if there's certain people who are coming on and you know a bit about them, please send us questions that you want us to ask.
100%. It's very much an open conversation. We very much appreciate getting people's opinions, appreciate getting people's feedback, whether that be positive or negative. If you have something to say, actually, you know what? I don't really agree with the point you've made there. Come on in season 3, because season 2 is packed. But come on in season 3. If we like you enough, we'll let you on. If we don't like you, it's tough. It's tough. No, but come on, just send us a message. And, we like to hear people's views. So if you're one of the people who has wanted to come on and say, oh, maybe I don't know Ben well enough, or maybe I don't know Emeka well enough, or whatever. We don't really care about any of that, in all honesty. It's just, we want to make sure that the people we do get on are good at sharing their views and expanding their views, because we're also potentially going to have some debates in the future as well, and have some kind of different opinions and different perspectives fleshed out, so that we can really decide, okay, well, what do we think is right? Because we live in a time where things are changing, the rules are changing, things are getting quite confusing in the dating world between the genders. I'm going to leave it there before it gets even more chaotic, but you know what I mean. People's views are changing, people's beliefs are changing. People are now a lot more afraid to say things because of fear of being reprimanded or cancelled or whatever. And it's a shifting time, and we need to make sure that we understand what we believe in. We've actually thought about why we believe these things, not that you learn it from Ben and Emeka, or you learned it from your mum and dad, or you learned it from whoever. It's, okay, this is my belief, but why do I actually believe that? Does this actually make sense to me? Does this actually improve my life, or does this make my life worse? Does this make me a worse person or a better person? It's more about defining yourself, the person you want to be, and the values you want to hold yourself to. And everybody has, it's a scale, right? So people who know me, I'm very boring. I'm very, straightforward, and I'm a bit disciplined, and I'm not one of those people who like to go out and party all the time, etc., etc. And that's what works for me. I understand that doesn't work for everyone. So I'm not advocating that anybody else needs to be like that. Ben, on the other hand, he's a bit more free-spirited, I might say.
that's probably the best word to describe me.
And so his behavior and his actions are different to ways I would uphold myself, but at the same time, I don't resent him for it because I accept that's who he is as a person. So it's not about trying to change people to be who you want them to be, but rather changing yourself to be the person that you want to be, and then fitting that into the puzzle piece of how do I then relate with the people around me? Are these people in my life going to be beneficial to me? Are they not? Because in all honesty as well, not everything that I do is beneficial for Ben's life. So Ben won't come to me for everything, and I understand that. I respect that. And not everything Ben does is beneficial for my life. I don't agree with all Ben's beliefs. In fact, I think he's a kind of stupid guy. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
It's
but
fair logic. I think actually on that subject though that you've just mentioned, I think that's the one thing since last year. I've always been very understanding of people. Like if somebody says to me, oh, I don't know, I'm not going to go out for dinner because it just costs too much money. And I'm like, don't you just enjoy going out and doing different stuff and whatever? The way I word things now is completely different. I don't go, oh, that's a bit weird. I'm like, okay, how come? And I actually want to find out. I've realized in the past 12 months when somebody would say something I didn't agree with, the way I'd say things back came across very judgmental. Even though I know for a fact I'm the least judgmental person. Like, I don't care who you are as a person and what you do. If you're respectful to me, I'll be respectful to you. But in the past 12 months, I've realized that a lot, that your delivery, it doesn't matter how you say it, you've got to tailor it to each individual because it's how they interpret it more than anything.
I think it does matter how you say it. And I think that's what you meant. But you messed up.
No. In all honesty, though, the way that perfect example, when I yell at you on a football pitch, I can yell at you because I know that you're going to interpret it and go like, all right, it's because he cares, whatever, and stuff like that. But if I also say it to you normally, you're going to act the same because that's your personality. I know I'm not going to say who, but I think you know exactly who I'm on about. If I react like that on a football field to X, Y, and Z, even if I say it friendly. But if I word it completely different, stuff like that, okay, yeah, maybe it will change that. But they're still going to interpret it that way.
I understand now more what you're saying. See, to me, what you were saying is it doesn't matter how you say things. But now I understand what you mean. You're saying that you've now gained an understanding that no matter what you say or how you say it, certain people are going to have a negative reaction. And so you're being more cognizant of who you engage with.
Is that right? That to an extent. But also, yes, the way that I deliver it, I'm very careful now with how I deliver certain things. And if I know that it's going to be a touchy subject with certain people, I will rarely bring it up now and I'll wait. Like if I know that somebody struggles talking about anxiety and stuff like that, I'm not going to be like, so how do you self-medicate? And stuff like that because they're going to freak out.
Yeah.
It's the way that you word things is obviously key, but you know that they're going to interpret it a certain way.
Yeah.
So you've got to wait for them to obviously start the conversation.
Yeah. I think we're on the same page there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but what you're saying is it doesn't just matter how you say it, but who you say it to. Is that correct? In terms of you need to understand who that person is that you're really talking to and get an appreciation for what works for them and what their boundaries are, how they're going to receive what you've said. Because I do understand what you're saying in the sense of, you know, you and I, we obviously get along, right? So if you shout at me and whatever, especially in a football environment where we're both English as well, that comes with an underlying passion for football. That's a generalization, I know, but bruv, we English people, football, man.
There's certain stereotypes we can say without being rude, and it's English people are football and tea, and there's no argument.
But yeah, we have that mutual understanding that, okay, look, you're only shouting at me because we both want this result. So, you know, and it's the same if I was to shout at you. It's exactly the same. Yeah. But also, we're both English people who have come to Australia in a culture where football isn't everybody's main focus. And I think a lot of people find it weird as well, because even people who play at a community standard in football obsess about football. Whereas in Australia, there are people who play NPL that don't have much of a love for football. Yeah. So there's definitely sometimes you see a bit of hostility when you're talking to someone about football or whatever, one of your teammates, and you're trying to explain something and they think that you're having a go at them or whatever. But it's because you need to have an understanding, like what you're saying is you need to have an understanding of who they are as a person and how they're going to receive that. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Have I got that?
No, I agree with that massively. Okay. I think in England as well, people look forward to football on the weekend. That's what they do during the week. They think Saturday or Sunday, oh, it's going to be such a good laugh. Like, get to play football with the lads. Hopefully we get the win. Half the people that I've even played alongside here go, oh, I do it because, like, yeah, I enjoy it, but if it ended tomorrow, I wouldn't be too fazed. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Like, not at all. I'm just saying it's not everyone's cup of tea over here.
I knew you was getting to that one, and I was like, I was clocking it, but probably non-English people were like, what does he mean? Or like, do you know what I mean? Like it flew over their heads.
Yeah, look, fair. But
it's weird to think
I think it's just one of those things. I think it's one of those things, though, that if football ended over here, a lot of people would be upset and good and stuff. But Australia is huge in how many different sports?
Mate.
Like what? Cricket, pretty talented. Rugby league, union,
AFL, swimming.
To be fair, swimming pretty good at that too. I always forget Australia are pretty good at that.
What else are Australia good at? Let us know.
Let us know. You've got two Poms here who have spent most of their life in Australia trying to still figure out what they're good
legit. It's tough. Mate, I don't even understand the rules for AFL. People I work with, etc., they ask me about. I'm like, bro.
Don't you just have to bounce the ball like every 20 meters or something and kick in between the two? Yep. In between the two is...
Mate.
Is it 6?
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
It's 6 in between there, I think, and in between the 2 on the either side is 1.
Oh, really?
I think. I'm Googling this right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I have to.
Let us know. One thing we wanted to talk about as well is ourselves and how we have progressed over the last 12 months. Things that we've learned unrelated to the podcast and where we're at in our lives and what we want to achieve in our lives in this upcoming season, so that you can laugh at us when we fail. Ben, you're up.
That can't wait to expose myself and fail. It's gonna be great. Oh, blimey. There's a lot I want to achieve. I guess travel is the main thing because COVID kind of ruined it for everyone. And now that it's kind of opening back up again, other than being expensive as all hell, I think, traveling's massive. Like, I've got Thailand booked, so that's going to be the first one. I want to go back to England for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Home. Country.
God's own country. I knew you were going to start singing.
I meant Country Road and I sang Country Home, bruv. What is that? I've let everybody down just saying I'm sorry. I gotta apologize.
Yeah, it's going to make a good blooper reel, this whole episode.
Yeah, facts. People are like, bruv, these guys
We're so rusty.
dropped in season 2, man. These people are not on it anymore. Nah.
Yeah, well, at least we're trying, right? Kind of.
No, we are trying. It's just, are we delivering? I think that is
our delivery is very poor right now.
We'll get there. No, because we're learning. Everyone's learning. Everybody.
You're on our journey to help us
we're not
with our
perfect.
development.
Chill out, bruv. Stop judging us. We're not perfect.
I'm pretty close. I'm pretty close to perfect. That's what my mum says anyway.
Oh, mate. Yeah, well, your mum, a liar. But for me, what am I trying to achieve? What is coming up for me in this year of my life? Exciting stuff. I'm moving to Brisbane. Planning a move to Brisbane in January. Very excited for that. Ben will be joining me. Decided to announce that on the podcast for everyone. No, I'm playing, bruv. This guy, okay, his dad's moved to Brisbane, and he's debating whether he wants to. I kind of threw him under the bus there hard.
All right, okay.
But I did it for you guys.
Let's put it to the group then. Should Ben move to Brisbane?
First of all, it would make recording episodes and everything easier, right? His dad's there. His family's moving there, right? Great people in Brisbane, right? Great weather, right? Great access.
Wasn't it just torrential rain in Brisbane, literally yesterday, 2 days ago?
Mate, you're British, mate. Calm down, mate. All right, you're British.
But isn't that isn't great weather? That's
bruv, the weather there, bruv, you live in Canberra, what are you talking about, bruv?
No. At least it wasn't torrential rain over the weekend, it was just our regular rain.
Bruv, it's not even that deep. Just relax. You're moving to Brisbane. That's my 4. Now Ben can do his against. Feel free to tune out for this part though, because we've already made the decision. Everybody's with me on this one.
I'm also looking at how long we've been recording for, and by the time I get my 4 against, we might be into episode 4.
Exactly. You yourself know you should relocate your butt to Brisbane.
I think. Oh, okay. Oh Jesus! Right.
Anyway, everyone, thanks for that. We have now decided Ben is moving to Brisbane. What else is coming up for me? Well, a lot of more. That was embarrassing. I tried to speak there.
Oh my days!
I'm releasing a lot more music as well. I'll be doing that. Be working with some different artists, some different people. Got some other ventures going on as well. If you're interested in those, you can check our links. I'm not going to go into it, but if you're interested, feel free to check it out. We're pretty, I'm not the most public person, I won't even lie to you, but there are certain elements of my life that are quite accessible publicly. So if you are interested in what else I'm doing, feel free to check out my website, put a link in the bio, and you guys can go check that out. I think, Ben is definitely a very public person. I'm more of a reserved person that can sometimes speak. Would you agree?
Well, if you haven't seen our Instagram pages, I just share memes 24/7 and literally just having a laugh and stuff like that. And yours is once every now and then, tailored to music. So we're getting there.
Bruv, it's because I'm supposed to be posting. I don't like posting on social media, bruv. I just don't. I don't like social media.
I get what you mean, though.
It's just I don't know. I feel I'm just getting old for Instagram and all that kind of thing. Like, it's not really where my interests lie. I very much... And this is another reason why I do this podcast, is I love community. I love being able to talk to people face to face. And so I'm more than happy to get on camera and talk to people that I enjoy learning about face to face. But when it comes to putting my stuff in other people's faces, not really that kind of guy, if that makes sense. I don't want to be. I like to go into environments where I'm welcome. I don't like to force myself on environments. So even if you know me as a person, you know that I'm not the kind of guy that will just invite myself to places or whatever. You know, I like to see that my energy is matched. I like to see that, okay, I'm well received. And I'm like, yeah, because I personally believe that you should really look to go into environments where you're well received, because that will make you prosper more. And so I remove myself from environments where I'm not well received. And social media is just a chaotic environment. I don't think it is very good for people to be very attached to posting everything on social media, because it can take you down a spiral. It doesn't take everybody down a spiral. People deal with things differently. But me personally, yeah, that's why I'm a bit more quiet on social media.
Like, I feel like in probably the last 12 months as well, social media, a lot of it, there's been more negativity than positivity. I feel like there has been some good things spoke about. I feel like every now and then you come across a good story that's actually beneficial, that kind of widens your eyes a little bit. But then you just see a bunch of people also living their best life that you go, how many attempts did it take for you to get that photo? And then you sat there looking at your phone going, hashtag beach, hashtag best day ever. And I know for a fact that you're not actually enjoying it. You just got a really good photo and you're going to post about it and stuff like that.
100% agree with you on that.
I've noticed, I went to Sydney not too long ago and I barely took any photos, and I was like, oh, I kind of wish I took more photos. And somebody turned around to me and said, why? I was like, oh, just because it was really pretty and stuff. And they're like, but who for? I was like, oh yeah, good point actually. Because I barely uploaded anything. I didn't take anything for myself. It was just living in the moment. And I'll tell you what, I probably had the most fun living in the moment. And that was weird for me as well, because I was quite a big person on get the photos, go home, show everybody, oh my God, look what I did. But that wasn't to make myself feel better about having a good time. It was just to show the people what there is around. So I never did it negatively. That's the word.
Guys,
I'm going to stop talking there.
Do you see what I am dealing with here?
Yeah. Hey.
No, I know I messed up before.
Don't call, don't call me out on my bullshit.
I was hoping that you was you forgot about that one, but you didn't.
No, not at all.
But I agree with you.
That's what I noticed.
Living in the moment, it's quite powerful. It's quite good. And we are going to talk about people's stories and share stories of people who have lived in the moment and who have achieved things. And the thing is, I very much agree with what you're saying as well, because what I found in my life as I've grown older, I'm 23 now, so I'm pretty much all-knowing at this point. But, no, I'm playing. We've obviously still got a lot of growing to do and a lot of things to learn. We'll be the first to tell you that, Ben more so than anybody that's even listening today. But it's really important that you learn to do things for yourself. You learn to satisfy yourself internally rather than externally, and making sure that you don't get hooked to our society of lust and external validation. Not lust in necessarily a sexual way, but desires and longing to get the approval and validation of other people. Am I going to tell you that, bro, I have it all the way figured out? 100% no. I fall victim to it as well. And that's also another reason why I don't post and don't engage all the time, because when you do that, you can really start to, get hyper focused to your numbers and to, am I growing? Am I, whereas, for example, this is a bit of a I didn't even know what it is. I was going to say, I manage an artist, for example, right? When I'm managing that artist, one thing I'm always trying to explain to that artist is, look, you need to make sure that you stay true to your art. It's very easy, and I want you, whoever's listening right now, to relate this to your own life in your own way. You might not be an artist. You might be a photographer or a ballet dancer. I always use that one. I don't know why, but I don't know.
Yeah, you always go ballet dancer.
Hey, beautiful thing, man. If you do ballet, more life to you. I never even say more life, but I'm vibing right now. Anyway, that was so dumb. Anyway, I always try to explain to him, stay true to your art. Stay true to who you are as a person. It's so easy to hear somebody else's sound, and I know so many rappers that do it. I know so many pop artists that do it. They start with their original sound, and they like their sound, and then their sound isn't as popping as what they hear everybody else around them doing. And so you hear them now conforming to everybody else, when in reality, yes, you might get more attention faster, but you yourself do not feel satisfied with that. Some people do, some people don't, right? But the majority of people don't, if we can be in agreement about that.
That's a big point. Yeah. That is a huge point. You look at so many artists nowadays who they just change everything about themselves to fit what's cool or what is trending. But then you look at other people like, look, I am not a Harry Styles fan at all.
Cap.
Let's just throw that out there.
Cap.
But he has genuinely followed himself from when he was in One Direction to who he is now. And he's just having the time of his life. But he's actually being himself.
You sound a lot like a Harry Styles fan.
Nah, never really into them. I will say as a band, though, they release a couple of bangers.
Fair.
But, you know.
Yeah, that idea of staying true to yourself and embracing yourself. Massive. And that was one of the key messages we were trying to share in season 1, which we're still going to focus on in season 2, is who are you? What are you about? What are you trying to achieve? If we can really focus in on ourselves and look inwards and say, look, I'm this person today, but who am I going to be tomorrow? You might have just turned 21. You might have just turned 22. Have a think. What did you want to achieve last year? Yeah, cool. All right. Maybe you didn't do it next year. Why not? And one thing you have to be careful about as well, there's so much advice in the world. Everybody can't be right. So just be careful. Not only that, but not everything is going to apply to you. And we realize that even in the advice we give, it might not suit your situation. This isn't a one size fits all. This is guidance, but it's not the solution. We are not going to fix your life. We're just going to try and give you tools. And not only that, but the reason we enjoy sharing stories is because the things we pick out, awesome. The questions we hone in on, awesome. But you might listen to something else that somebody else has said, and that might really resonate with you. And that's why we don't want it to just be us. For example, for me, we talked about it before, Max's esophagus and how he ruptured that, but still kept going. That really stuck out to me. But you might have been like, wow, he entered that sport at such an early age and he really progressed. That might have been the highlight for you. Doesn't matter what it is. We just hope that you can take something.
Take something from every episode that resonates with you. That's it. And if you can do that, that's perfect.
Then we've done what we...
Well, that's what we want, is every person who watches this walks away with a little bit more knowledge, a little bit more understanding, and they feel comfortable expressing how they feel to somebody else. Like, I think it was after Lucas's story, I want to say. Yeah, no, it was definitely Lucas's. Where a young female's dad messaged me and was like, oh, I just watched your podcast with Lucas and I drive my daughter to training all the time. And it's only an hour and a half away compared to what Lucas did. And I used to always get stressed out about it because it was draining on the family. But I've just realised how easy I have this life compared to what he was going through. And I was just like, an hour and a half is still a long time to go to training every day. But it's good that it's now put into perspective that it's actually okay.
Yeah, and it's the fact that that story has helped someone. That story
Massively.
has changed somebody's perspective, whether you're a parent, whether you're not, whether you're a child, whether you're not, whether you're trying to achieve in your own lane something that people say you can't do, can do, or whatever. Doesn't really matter who you are or what you're about. We're all human at the end of the day, and we can all learn something from everybody else. You know, even my 13-year-old brother, I learned stuff from the guy. You know, I'm from a culture where, okay, I was born and raised in the UK. We all know that. Well, you might not if you're new. Welcome if you are new. But I was born and raised in the UK, but I belong to different cultures. I belong to Nigerian culture, Jamaican culture, and UK culture. In Nigerian culture, it's all about respecting your elders, and it's all about making sure that you really pay attention to what your elders are saying. And there's a hyper focus and hyper attention on elders, even if that person is a day older than you, a second older than you, elders, right? And you might already have come to this realization. Maybe you're smarter than me, you probably are. But the realization that I've come to as well is that, okay, even my 13-year-old brother, guy teaches me stuff. 18-year-old brother, the guy teaches me stuff, you know? So what I try and do is, and once again, I don't always do this. I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But as Ben was talking about before, I've also become better at listening to understand. Listening to learn something and take something from it rather than listening to respond.
That's a big one, actually.
Yeah. I've had a slowed kind of focus, if that makes sense. Not slowed, but honed in terms of I'm not as reactive. I'm not as, I got to jump in there or whatever. I'm more, okay, oh, wow. Yeah, okay. Yeah, wow. Yeah, wow. Obviously, some of you that know me will probably disagree. Maybe I haven't changed. But I'm trying, man.
Hey, and that's the thing, like, it's not an overnight success, changing. We all know that. That's also why a lot of people started listening to this podcast. Is because they wanted to join a journey. They wanted to go through it as a group. They wanted to see what they could learn. They wanted to see how they could develop. It's not an overnight success. It's good to hear something go, you know what, I'm going to try be better at this. I'm going to try develop this. Okay, maybe it will take you a year. Maybe it will take you 10 years. But if you set yourself to do it every day and just try and be a little bit better, it's always going to be better for you and everyone around you.
All right, we're going to close there. We've given you a lot, and there's a lot more to come. There's a lot more we could have said, but we're going to leave you there because we want you to stay excited. We want you to stay motivated. We want you to stay ready for what's to come in season 2. A lot of stories, whole lot of stories from different people, a lot of different perspectives, and just a shared message of how can we as individuals better ourselves. And Ben and I are learning with you on this process. Extremely, extremely thankful for all the messages that we've received, all the support we've received. You know, it's crazy. People that I haven't even met before have reached out to me and told me things about this podcast and asked to hear things on this podcast as well. And it's really, really good because it also expands our perspective. I couldn't speak again for a second. We obviously are learning in this journey. We don't think about everything. We don't always think outside the box. And so when we get feedback from our audience, it makes it better for everybody. So we need you to get involved because that is how we deliver more impact to you. I try to do a cool moment where I pointed directly and I pointed.
That was one of
camera.
the worst things I've ever seen.
Let's try it again. We want to bring impact to you.
It doesn't work.
Has the moment
it looks
gone?
like that army photo. We want you.
We want you. Who's with me?
I'm not. I'm done.
Who's inspired?
Who's inspired by the catastrophe that is episode 1, season 2?
Oh. Look, we didn't say the season was going to be pretty. We just said there'd be a lot of stories.
Did we say it'd be better than season 1?
I think we've started better than we started season 1, right, guys? Let us know.
Yeah, don't let us make that decision because we'll say, yeah, no, it was incredible.
We did great. We are amazing.
One question I will throw out to everyone. Is there a guest that was on season 1 that you want to see again and hear a bit more about those stories? Because we've had a few messages saying they want people back, but we're going to make a poll.
I found that really. I found it really interesting that people were messaging us asking to get other people back on. I was like, wow, okay,
that was awesome. Actually,
yeah. I was actually taken aback. Like, oh, okay, wow. People wanted to hear more. Not to say that the guests we got on weren't good guests. We know they were good guests, but it was just. I've not witnessed something like that before, where somebody is actively and openly advocating for somebody that they don't even know to come back.
Yeah,
I'm an NPC, bruv. I was glitching, but I got there in the end.
That was my favourite part, I reckon, was just randomly waking up like 6 o'clock in the morning, checking my phone and just, that episode was incredible. Get so-and-so back on. And I'm just like going through their followers.
Because you said you woke up at 6 a.m. So
I don't sleep properly, that's why. I just wake up randomly.
Yeah, no, insomnia.
If I wake up at 6, I get out of bed. That's two different things. Like, think about it.
Fair.
FIFA 23 has just come out, so like...
Well, not at the time this is out. It'll be out for a few months. The World Cup will be on. England would have won.
Who's your prediction?
Their second game. I don't want to make predictions because I don't want to get attached to this World Cup because I do not want to be in tears when England struggle. Who's your prediction, though?
I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say Brazil are going to take it out.
Are you... Bruv, you thought you were brave for that?
Yeah.
You thought you were brave for picking Brazil?
Yeah, because honestly, France are probably going to do it and just ruin everybody again.
France have been struggling recently.
Yeah, but it's France.
Well,
simple as that.
We're probably going to look like idiots by the time this... I mean, not just for these predictions, but just generally for these comments as well.
Pretty much.
By the time this is out, because people just would have already seen who's good. That's what I mean.
Yeah. I guess probably the best shout I can give is England is not going to win it.
Gareth Southgate should be sacked after this World Cup.
Oh, he'll get sacked. I'm sure about it.
I don't know, bro. These guys... We want an English manager. We want an English manager. I don't give a... Bro, give me a German manager. If you guys don't know, Germany and England don't have good history, so there's a bit of just tension there. That's why I said that.
We're pretty good now. But
yeah, but...
back then we weren't too good.
Yeah, but it's always kind of stayed. For example,
Yeah,
even
that's
when
a
we
good
play
point,
football,
actually. Yeah.
everyone's always like, "Oh, Germany! Oh, we got to beat Germany." But I would take Thomas Tuchel
Oi,
as our manager. That's a hot
that's not a
take.
bad shout. That's not a bad shout, actually.
Hey,
I'd
you act
cop
like
that.
I'm a dumb
I'd
guy,
cop that.
bruv. You act like I'm just some regular schmegler, bruv. I was gonna say it on my days, and I didn't, and I need to be congratulated by everybody on
Yeah,
my ability to not say it.
you've done
But
well.
yeah, we've
You've
talked
got
enough.
9 left, so
We're gonna love you and leave you. Goodbye.
goodbye.
I was gonna do the Queen's wave, but she's gone now. So rest in peace, Lizzie. What? Hey, don't laugh. I love the Queen, mate. Well,
It was just your face. You can still love somebody once they're gone, don't you know that?
I've learned something today. That is a good point. That is a very good point. All right.
See, not just
Third
a pretty
time.
face.
Third time's the charm. Goodbye.
All right.
Good done.
Bye bye.